Okay, welcome to Chapter 4, Part 2 for the Hygiene and Sanitation. So last week we have spoke about the buying, okay, how you choose the correct of the supplier, and also how do you actually store it properly, okay. So this week we're going to talk about how to prepare safe food. Okay, how to prepare and produce safe food for consumption, as well as what is the best practices to prepare this safe food. So this is what we have mentioned before. Okay, the checklist, how to anticipate and control food safety risks. Okay, so the best practice in these 6 key areas includes the premises. Okay, make sure your premise is clean, okay, and sanitized. Equipments, performance and maintenance, make sure your equipments are well maintained, and make sure that it has good performance here, especially for your fridge and the fridge as well as the freezer. Okay, so they can reach the targeted temperature. Okay, cleaning and sanitization, the protocol, staff training, very important. Okay, every time I see, okay, the staff is not being trained properly, or they are not aware, okay, or it's possible that they have been trained but it's not competent, okay, because they only learn, they never practice. Okay, so food flow, okay, the transportation, receiving and storage of the food, as mentioned last week. The production process, we're going to mention about this week. Yeah, so if you think about it, why do you actually cook food? Cooking is not only to help you to kill the microorganism. Okay, cooking actually has a very important role, which includes the changing of the taste. Usually, for example, a piece of meat, a raw meat, no taste, no smell, no aroma. After you cook, okay, it tastes much more better. Okay, the aroma is so much more better because the cooking condition, which involve heat, it actually promotes the reactions. Okay, it promotes reaction. That's why the raw meat can start to generate. Okay, during the cooking process, the process, the raw meat, okay, will lead to the generation of the aroma as well as the taste. Okay, during the cooking process. Sometimes it also help in digestibility because it break down the collagen, it break down the proteins and things like that, which helps in digestion. Okay, this is very true as well when you talk about like vegetable as well. Okay, some of the fiber, okay, maybe is included. Not really fiber. Okay, the cell wall, the cell wall of the plants actually will be loosened a bit so that you can actually digest better. Yeah, okay, you can actually get all the nutrients from the vegetables. Okay, so food preparation involves a series of steps. Okay, every time, remember this, there will have a certain degree of risk. Okay, that comes with the food preparation. Okay, for sure there's a certain risk. So for your job is to minimize the risk. How you do that? Okay, before you actually produce, you can analyze and plan the production flow. Very important, I show you the next slide, is that you must make sure that you are aware of what could go wrong. Very important. What could go wrong? Because if you do not know what could go wrong, you don't know how to anticipate the risk. Okay, for example, source of contamination. It's possible the person who transport the raw ingredient is at risk. Okay, so which means that it can actually give some kind of diseases or microorganisms and so forth. It can come from the raw food, okay, the raw material. Okay, it may be originated from the farm. Okay, it could come from the insects, okay, like flies. Okay, very common, flies. okay, where they lay the egg larva and end up with a lot of the worms in your meat. Okay, the animals, rodents like rats, okay, cockroaches, dust, soil, all these are the source of contamination. You need to realize that it's possible to come from this area. Okay, so when the food or the person who contact these surfaces, they will lead to cross-contamination, including like equipment as well. Clothing, very important. Some people, their clothing is always touching the raw meat, and then you go and touch salad. Okay, cross-contamination. Okay, the one I gave you the example before, a few chapters before, the person who are actually making my sandwich right in front of me, I saw it. Okay, when they reach out to get the ingredient, their apron is actually touching my sandwich. Okay, and the apron, how clean is it? I wouldn't know. Okay, so it's possible that my sandwich is cross-contaminated with whatever is on his or her apron. Okay, so because of this cross-contamination, now your food become high-risk food. Okay, so if anyone who eaten this high-risk food, it could actually lead to food poisoning. Okay, so by realizing these connections, okay, you may anticipate saying that, oh, because of that, I need to make sure that the hand or the food contact ready, I need to wash before I touch those another ingredient. Okay, alright, or I need to like go and cook it at high temperature, or maybe I need to store it or wash it and so forth. Okay, so that you anticipate how to minimize the risk before you actually produce a food that is considered as a high risk food. Okay, so we have go through this this process flow. Okay, so this is a process flow that is normally happening: receiving, storage, preparation, cooking, cooling, cold storage, reheating, and holding, yeah, if it's for service. So we have last week in chapter 4 part 1, we have spoke about receiving, selecting the what they call the trustable or approved supplier. And then once you receive, make sure that you actually cross-check where the quality of the ingredients before you're receiving it. Okay, reject if it's not up to standard. Okay, check whether is there any dented to the canned food. Check whether is there any visible like breakage of the packaging. Okay, is there any dented to the canned food and so forth. Then you need to quickly store it properly. You can store it, is it in the freezer, is it in the fridge, is it in the dry storage area. Okay, so we have spoke about the storage as well, and making sure that the storage area is well lit. Okay, so it got enough light so you can see the condition inside, well ventilated. Okay, so that the temperature is not that hot and the humidity is not that high. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about preparation, cooking, and the rest of the preparation practices. Yeah, so we have spoken about the storage already. Just to add on to the storage, so make sure that the food are being stored, okay, to kept at below 5 degrees. Okay, try to keep not to be above the danger zone. Very important. Okay, so don't say that I'm now busy, I will leave it my food or ingredient over there for a while. Okay, no, immediately store in the fridge or freezer or the dry storage area. Do not wait. Okay, the 2 hours or 4 hours guidelines, this is especially true after you have cooked. After you have cooked your food, okay, how long you can leave it there. Okay, use the 2 hours, 4 hours rules. Later I will emphasize on that. Different food types must be adequately separated during storage. Raw food, okay, or ready to eat food, okay, make sure you separate. You can't say that I got limited space, I store the raw ingredient and the ready to eat food together. Ready to eat means no longer have any more preparation, you can directly eat. Okay, raw food means that you haven't cooked yet. You cannot store these two in the same place. Cannot. Okay, because one thing, cross-contamination can happen. Okay, so another system that you need to you must use it is FIFO, first in, first out. Okay, which means that what you receive first, you use that first. Whatever comes in later on, you put to the bag. Okay, not use first. Actually, this is very, very true. If you realize in the supermarket, how they do is always using the first in, first out system. Okay, you can see that there is the shelf. Okay, so this is your food products. Okay, usually what happens is that when they want to restock it to the shelf, they will push away the old stock. Okay, and put the new stock behind the old stock, so that people will take the old stock first before taking the new stock. If you took the other way around, what happens? Old stock will get older and older until expired. Okay, to be honest, I have seen some of the supermarket, they did not train their staff well. So what happened was the products, the old products is at the back and it has been expired, although in front is still got some new items. Okay, alright, so the food must be clearly labeled. Very, very important. Okay, so if you have a bulk packaging, if you if you separate it into smaller packaging, make sure you label it. Okay, how you can enforce this rule, right, of labeling is make sure that you have label and you have marker, permanent marker. Okay, readily right at your storage area so that you can use it to label your products. Very important. If you do not have the label, if you do not have the marker, how do you label? You can't. So you can't blame your staff saying, why you never label it? You can't blame them because you don't even have a marker and a label provided for them to label. Okay? When storing food, the requirement of relevant law must be met. Okay, food must be protected from possible food contaminations. Okay, and must be clearly labeled. Okay. So we have mentioned about the first in, first out. All right. So also make sure that you check the use by date. Okay, there are a few things here. Later I will emphasize again. Use by, best before. What are they? Okay, always keep it simple and stupid. Yeah, KISS means that you don't make the system so complicated. Okay, you have a label. Alright, make sure that when you receive it, alright, so that people know that when you open the open date, okay, when you open the package, so that they know when to throw it away. As simple as that. No need to put until, wow, you have this and that. A lot of very complicated system until you don't even know what happened. Okay, try to keep things simple so that your staff can follow. Okay, if you make it very complicated, they couldn't follow. Alright. So shelf life means that store under specific storage conditions which prevent the food from going bad. Okay, later we'll talk more about the use by and before date. Yeah, this what do you mean by store under specific condition? Okay, every time your food ingredient when you receive, you need to store at a certain condition, because even though the packaging say that the expire date is in July 2020. Okay, July 2020, but because of your storage condition which is not optimal, very high humidity, very high temperature, what happened? Your food didn't even reach until July 2020, maybe May 2020 is already gone bad. Okay, so it's very important for you to store under the specific condition, okay, so that your food can last longer. Very important here, yeah. Usually the standard rule, right, okay, the general rule is to store, okay, accordingly in the fridge, freezer or dry storage. It must be a cool, okay, and dry place. Cool, dry place if it's in the dry storage. Okay, if it's in the freezer, make sure that it's below -20. If it's in the fridge, make sure that it's below 5 degrees Celsius. That is the condition. Alright. becoming a food safety hazard and developing unstable quality attributes if you did not meet the storage condition. So the use by date and the best before date, if you store it properly, okay, if you store at the specific condition, then you can refer to the use by date and the best before date. Okay, the most important here, because as I mentioned, if you did not store properly, it didn't even reach the use by or best before date, the food product may have gone bad already. Okay, so store it properly, then you can refer back to the use by or the best before date. What's the difference between use by or best before date? Use by date is very similar to expired date, alright, which means that if you pass the date stated there, the use by or expired date, you cannot use anymore. Please discard it. It means you throw it away. If you see best before date, if you pass that, it's still safe to eat. Okay, it's still safe to eat, but the quality is not as good. Okay, quality in terms of the taste, how it looks like, okay, the texture may have changed. Alright, so this is, you still can use, this one you cannot use, this one must throw away, okay. But I would really suggest you to do it, okay, because I was once served the Coke Light, okay, the Coke Light, and when I tasted, it's very blunt, no taste, no gas. So when I check, it's already past the best before date for 1 year. Okay, so when I complain, they say that the supplier say it's safe to drink. It's true, but the texture, the taste and also the fizziness is not there. Okay, yet I get charged full price. So that is not very fair. Okay. So when you look at buy a food products, okay, so usually they should have a use by date, okay, or best before date, very clearly. They have name of the product, the lot number. Yeah, very important. Yeah, you're able to know what is the lot number, because lot number sometimes, if you recall, they will check the lot number. Yeah, if your lot number is not affected, you can continue to use it. Okay, if your lot number is in the recall, please do not use. Okay, return to the supplier. And also very important, yeah, some products, okay, some products you buy on the shelf, which means that it's not refrigerated. Okay, so you get it from the shelf and say, oh, I can just open it and keep it there for. It's a no. Please check the label. You will see that some of the label, even though the product you buy off the shelf, not refrigerated or not in the freezer, off the shelf, they will say refrigerate once after opening. Okay, which means that once you open, you need to refrigerate. Okay, the reason very simple is because once you open, you expose to the air. Okay, or they have initially have some special air in the packaging. Once you open, now the air is being replaced, so the it's possible to get contaminated. So you need to put in the fridge. Very important. Yeah, check the label. So you can see the date marking, okay, best before, use by, ingredients, okay, food recall. Make sure that you know where to identify the what's it called, the production lot number. Okay, some of the food additive, nutrition labeling. The one that you need to see more is this, the storage requirement. Okay, for example, refrigerate after opening. A lot of people did not see this one. At the end, they store at the room temperature and the product gone bad, eat, okay, food poisoning. Okay. Another one that is very important is the allergen. Yeah, so make sure that you have any allergen. If just say that you are specialized in cooking for those kids, okay, or patients or what, okay, that is sensitive to allergens, so make sure that you have that, like no peanuts. Okay, sometimes even though your product ingredients there's no peanuts, but when they process this product, okay, together, okay, using the same equipment as those using peanuts, then you cannot take this product also. Okay, again, if the label, okay, the food ingredient doesn't have peanuts, but when they say they process this product using the same equipment as those processed using the peanuts, then this product cannot be used. Okay, very important, yeah. Usually you will see one. Okay, after receive storage, now is the preparation time. So when you see the preparation includes like chopping, grading, mixing, portioning, seasoning, and so on. Yeah, so you prepare the ingredient before you cook. Alright, you have to remember, even during preparation, you need to follow the hygienic practices. Okay, hygiene practices, which means that you need to wash your hands, touch your ingredients. Okay, after you touch your ingredients, you wash again before you touch another ingredient. Okay, very important, especially you touching between vegetables and raw meat. Never mix together. Okay, so you need to make sure that when you are preparing, yeah, you need to wash. Very important, wash. Wash it to reduce the microbial loads as well as get away all the dirts, okay, and remove all the physical contaminants, dirts or insects, okay, and also select the proper, select the good quality vegetables as well, okay, get away all those vegetables that you seems that is not fresh and so forth, yeah. Sanitize if when necessary. What you can do is you can sanitize using the chlorine, okay, about 100 ppm. Okay, so last week got a student ask me as well, sir, how do I ensure that the sanitizer has been rinsed? Very important is that if you use the correct concentration, you should be able to rinse off the sanitizer, okay, normally. Because what happens is that if you put too much, of course, with normal rinsing, you may not be able to remove it. Okay, so make sure that when you sanitize it, make sure the concentration is correct. Okay, the 100 ppm. Okay, they will teach you one. Put 1 cup to 5 liter of water. Then you put 1 cup, pour to 5 liter of water. Okay, and so forth. Yeah. Another one that I have spoke about is that you can use the what we call the okay. Other than that, you also can use the ozonated water to wash. Okay, so we have it, as I mentioned, in Taylor's kitchen, Taylor's University kitchen, we have the ozonated water that you can use it to wash your vegetables. That's a very good way to sanitize the vegetables as well. Nowadays, there's also like what we call the vegetable wash that you can use to sanitize your vegetables, okay, using the natural ingredients. Once you have sanitized, you rinse it properly, and then after that you separate it, okay, separated away from the others raw ingredients and cover and store it until you use, okay. Wrap it if possible, yeah, okay, and keep in the fridge, okay, keep in the fridge. Again, yeah, if you keep in the fridge, make sure that the raw vegetables is up there, the raw meat is at the bottom, okay. The reason is, as I mentioned before, is so that it doesn't have any leak from the raw meat to the vegetables. Yeah, very important. Yeah. You can see from here is a no-no. If you can't wash in this the basin that is look very filthy here. Okay, no. And do not actually wash together with the raw meat as well. Yeah. Okay, next is cooking. Okay, for cooking, make sure that you need to cook more than 75 degrees Celsius. Okay, minimum 75 degrees Celsius and above. Okay, how do you know is that when you heat the internal, not outside, yeah, inside the meat, it must be reached at 75 degrees Celsius. And when the juice run clear, okay, no more blood, yeah, if it's meat, if it's no more blood and runs clear, means that it's fully cooked in the middle, okay, in the internal of the meat, yeah. And make sure that it's more than 75 degrees Celsius. Alright, do not undercook it. Actually, that's why I really don't like to eat those half cooked, okay, raw meat, sashimi, or all those like medium rare beef and so forth. Yeah, very worried there, because what happens is that if you really want to cook that kind of food, the ingredient must be very fresh, and the preparation must be very careful, and everything that you use it to prepare the food, the ingredient must be washed and sanitized, okay, if you're cooking that kind of food. Yeah. Okay, the reason why you have to be 75 above, you can see from this graph here. Over here, this is what we call the danger zone. This area, the microorganisms love to grow, can grow fast. Okay, this is called danger zone. Yeah, especially this zone here, very fast growth. Here is slower, but it's still in the danger zone. So the whole area here is danger zone. So if you want to cook, make sure that it's above 60. 75 above is even better. Okay, so you start to kill the bacteria. Yeah, so to cut the bacteria and other microorganisms if it's above. And make sure that when you reach 75, make sure that you hold it there for a certain periods, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay, to have it fully cooked. Yeah. If you are storing below 0 degrees Celsius, okay, like the salad that you have washed, store it here so that you actually make the microorganism sleep. Okay, microorganism won't die, but it will very slow. It grow very slow, and mostly it will be sleep. Okay, it's still alive, but it's a sleeping dormant. Alright, storage here, cooking, make sure you kill them. Okay, above 75 degrees. Here, danger zone. Okay. So when you're cooking, right, it also depending on your food, the characteristic, okay, the pH of the food, the water activity. Water activity means how much moisture is in our food. Those with a lot of moisture, very high activity, okay? And when you high activity, bacteria or microorganisms love to grow. Like raw meat. Raw meat is very high in water activity, yeah. That's why microorganisms love to grow in there. Whereas pH, make sure that the pH is low. Okay, slightly more acidic, bacteria or microorganism doesn't really like to grow over there. Yeah, so it really depending on what kind of food that you are cooking, so that you can have a proper risk management. Yeah, type of packing. Okay, used for product during heat processes, very important. How you actually cooking them? Okay, how you actually cook them? Is it in the package? Okay, some of the food, right, you actually warm up in the package. Alright, and because of the package, it make the warming slower, because you need to pass through the package, okay? Or what kind of package you use? Is it metal? Is it plastic or whatever? Okay. Alright, so type of package, internal storage and distribution time. Okay, what's the shelf life? The longer, the more risk. Yeah, the longer you store, the longer time you needed to distribute the food. The shelf life means longer shelf life means that the risk is higher. For example, from centralized kitchen, you want to distribute to all your outlets, the risk is higher. That's why the food chain, the whole thing need to be more careful. Yeah. Internal storage and distribution conditions. Okay, chill, frozen, or shelf stable. Intended product use. Yeah, is it ready to eat, or is it that you need to cook again and so forth? Okay, always ready to eat. Those in the cellar level and family, they are all ready to eat. High risk. You need to be careful, which means that from centralized kitchen, after cook, okay, when you're cooking, make sure that you prepare it very hygienic, okay, and pack it properly, chew it properly, okay, and distributed immediately, and cook and chew it properly during when you reach the outlet. Okay, have to be very extra careful. Okay. Cooling. After cooking, as I mentioned, nowadays a lot of the products, right, is like ready to eat. Okay, they prepare in centralized kitchen and then distributed to outlets. Okay, just like Family Marts, 7-Elevens, okay, McDonald's, okay, KFCs, Old Town White Coffee, all these, they actually produce their food products in the centralized kitchen and distribute out to the outlets. So once they cook in the centralized kitchen, they need to cool it down before distributing to other outlets. Okay. So for cooling, you need to quickly cool it as fast as possible. Okay, what you can do is you can use a blast chiller or blast freezer to actually chill it or freeze it. Okay, the reason why you need to be quick so that it doesn't reach the danger zone or it stay in the temperature danger zone for so long. Because you see, very high heat after cooking, right? High heat. If you slowly cool, what happens? You're going to reach in the temperature danger zone. So what happens? Microorganisms can grow. So if you cool it fast, okay, until you cool it down very, very fast, okay, below 5 degrees, now the microorganisms all sleeping. Okay, that's why you need to cool it as fast as possible. Okay, food should not remain at room temperature for longer than 1 hour. No matter what, shouldn't be. Okay, 1 hour also is too long already. Okay, not even 5 minutes or 10 minutes. As fast as possible to reach below 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so some of the things that you can do, right, to cool it faster, you can use blast freezer, blast chiller. Other than that, you can remove from the hot vessel to the container, but I not recommend this. Okay, separate into smaller shallow containers that is sterile. Okay, the container must be sterile. Stirring the food to release the heat. Okay, placing vessel in a stream of cold water possible. Placing in a suitable place to encourage cooling. Yeah. Okay, so there are a number of things that you can use to cool it. Yeah, but the one they nowadays, yeah, what they do is that they can have a machine that do the hot filling, which means that they directly cook, they will transfer in the aseptic way to the machine. Okay, which means that the product is still clean. Okay, and then they directly fill the hot food onto the package and vacuum seal it. Okay, actually you just seal it, the vapor itself when it cool, right? If you vacuum. Okay, so the package, they seal it, they fast chill it in the machine. Okay, like a blast freezer or the blast chiller. Okay, and the temperature drops and directly it can store in that freezer or fridge. Yeah. So if when you talk about that, okay, so cooling is more or less there already. So once you cool already, okay, so once you cool already, then you will store it. Okay, you store it. You can do it for cold holding. Cold holding means that you hold it there until you service. This is very frequent when you are talking about like hotel buffet line. Okay, once in the buffet line, they actually cold hold it. Okay, until when you need it. Okay, then they will serve you like the cold salad or whatever. Okay. Some of the cold storage, right, it can cold storage for a long time. Yeah, sometimes 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay, it's possible. It's alright. Okay. Then if you want to heat it, okay, you need to if you want to serve it, you need to reheat it, and then you may need to hold it before you serve it. Yeah. Okay, so the cold storage. Okay, so you reheat it. This is a very good, and so just like in Family Mart, when you buy those ready to eat food, okay, they will reheat for you before you serve it to you. Okay. If you're talking about in the buffet line, same thing as well. Sometimes you can cold storage until we require, reheat it, and then you serve. Okay, food that is being held for service may be kept in the heated display unit, yeah, or what we call bain-marie. Okay, so if you are looking at the buffet line as well, you got this pan. You can see over here, down here. Okay, down here there's a pan over here, and then if you open, if you take up this food tray, right, you actually can see that there are water there, and then it's being heated up. So the steam will go to your the steam will hit the tray holding your food, so that it's keeping the food above 60 degrees Celsius. Very important. It will keep the food 60 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Why you need to be above 60 degrees Celsius? To prevent the microorganism from growing, because microorganism doesn't like above 60 or 75 degrees Celsius. Okay, so you make sure that you hold it at the temperature. Alright, because if you're talking about buffet line, it's not directly served here. It may be there for half an hour, it may be there for 1 hour, or maybe it may be there for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. Okay, so you need to make sure that it's above 60 degrees Celsius. Yeah. This is what we call the hot holding. Okay, so this is the rule of thumb. You may be asking me, sir, so how long should I keep there? If just say that the buffet line, not a lot of crowd, and it has been holding there for like a few hours, so when should I throw away? So there's a rule of thumb here. If you hold it there for less than 2 hours, okay, and you say that no more crowd, you can refrigerate immediately, and you may be able to reheat and reuse it here. Okay, if it's longer than 2 hours, you don't refrigerate, don't keep anymore, use it immediately. Okay, if more than 4 hours, throw out. Alright, so throw out. If it's more than 4 hours, throw out. Do not reuse it. Okay, because the microorganism load could be very high already. Okay, so last few slides. Alright, so this is the whole process line. That's why it's very complicated. Make sure that you plan for it, understand the flow, okay, so you can minimize the risk. Same thing, ingredient, receive, store, you prepare your ingredient, you cook, you serve. You can serve, meal service, return dish, whatever not used more than 4 hours, throw away. Okay, so this is the more complex processing flow. Okay, so just to summarize for chapter 4 part 2, when you cook potentially hazardous food to the correct internal temperature. Very important, internal temperature means if you are looking at the meat, make sure the meat inside is above 75 degrees Celsius, not outside the layer. Okay, so how you can use it, as I mentioned before, you can take a thermometer, the cheap one, okay, with a sharp pointy, poke into the meat. Okay, poke into the meat, alright, to check the internal temperature. Okay, so make sure that you maintain more than 60 degrees Celsius if in the buffet line, or what we call hot hold. If after you cook, you need to cool it as fast as possible to below 5 degrees Celsius, because so that you can minimize the microbial growth. And if you want to speed up the cooling, you can divide large quantity into smaller container. Okay, placing container into ice water. This one not very encouraged because the ice water may not be clean. Stirring rapidly to release heat. Yeah. Okay, these are some of the technique to do it. But now with the advancement of the technology, you are able to hot fill into a container, seal it directly. You can chew it. Yeah. Okay, much more cleaner. Cold holding it, okay, you can hold in the refrigerate, okay, like salad, all this before you serve here. Okay, cold hold it, yeah, make sure it's below 5 degrees Celsius. Don't leave it on the counter that is room temperature. You say that, I just my salad, I just leave it there. Cannot. Cold holding, make sure you hold it below 5 degrees before serving. Okay, that's why nowadays, right, you can see in the hotels, right, usually have a fridge counter. They put all the food, so they say, I want this one, they will take it for you from the fridge. Okay, this is what we call cold holding. Okay, reheat it. You make sure that you reheat for more than above 75 degrees for more than at least 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes to kill it. Okay, kill the bacteria. Yeah. Okay, last slide. Display. Okay, so make sure that you display in the fridge if you require. Okay, below 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, best you have some sneeze guard so that you do not talk on your food or sneeze on your food. Freezer, make sure your freezer is below -15. Okay, when frozen food is being transported or received, it should remain frozen hard. Okay, when you receive it, make sure it's frozen hard. Okay, toy. Okay, if you want a toy in the fridge, all this one are what we mentioned in last week, yeah, in chapter 4 part 1, yeah. when you thaw it, make sure you thaw it in the fridge, okay, so that the temperature wouldn't go too high. Okay, so that's it for chapter 4 part 2. Okay, make sure you comment in the Padlet, very important for attendance. If you got question, ask your question. If you got no question, write there no question. Yeah, write your full name and your student ID there. Okay, so thank you very much. And make sure, yeah, for this week you have the midterm. Okay, please complete it within the earlier the possible, okay, before the weekend, because if you have problem, okay, you still can tell me, okay, okay, so make sure do not wait until weekend. Try to finish before Thursday, okay, okay. All right, thank you very much. All right, good luck for the midterm, yeah.